So, when you first open the Parrot AR 2.0's box, you see the outdoor or the indoor frame that protects the rotors from getting hit when you bounce off walls or things like that. It's a good learning one so that if you it doesn't destroy the propellers. You got the drone itself and the outdoor frame, which increases like agility and things like the battery life because it's lighter than the indoor frame. And then you have your battery and charger. Other outlet types, since we're in the US, we use this one, but it's got international ones. Stickers, use your manual, double-sided tape to stick things to the bottom of the drone. The drone itself, a pretty simplistic one, a plastic body, 2 ultrasonic sensors on the bottom, a camera on the bottom to sense the ground, so it uses that to control the speed so that it knows how far it's moving. LED indicator, LEDs on each of the rotors, and the rotors themselves, they're not as replaceable as I'd like them to be. Yeah, they have a locking nut on the end, but I guess you're just not supposed to wreck them up. But I'm sure you can get them off somehow and get replacement ones. Okay. So, when you first plug in the drone, you take your LiPo battery. It's 11.1 volts and, or, what is it? It's 11.1 volts and 1000 milliamps per hour. So it's a pretty good battery. I think it's got a runtime of about 15 minutes. Changes a lot depending on your flying patterns and whether you're recording or not. Things you're going to need to fly the drone are a tablet or phone that can run the app, so that's Android or iPad or Apple. It's on both the stores. The app looks like this. It's AR Free Flight. It looks the same on Apple and Android. We've tried it with both. It works very well. And if you want to take good video, but your phone or tablet doesn't have such a good Wi-Fi thing, you might want to consider saving all the video to a flash drive, which is what I'm going to do, because my Nexus 7, it doesn't stream the video very well, because it saves right to the tablet. So I put a flash drive in it, and it'll save right to the flash drive, and I'll get it later. So connect the tablet, Wi-Fi is connected, open up the app. Let's move the drone over here, down. No, I don't want to rate it. Remind me later. Location services delayed. Go into piloting. Loading. So the thing about this app is it's very well constructed, works very well, and there's a lot of different flying options. One thing that we really like so far is the takeoff button. So the ultrasonic sensor will measure how far it is from the ground. So we'll bring the drone up to 1 meter high, and then it will hover there using a vision sensor to keep it from moving around. It's got a lot of other options. We have battery life, settings, Wi-Fi, recording, reestablish connection, and this here shows that I have a flash drive plugged in and take a picture. I have it on dual joystick because that's how I prefer to fly. I'm hoping that we can change the serial connector in the drone so that it works off a normal 2.4 gigahertz controller, which I think is easier than flying with a tablet, but this works well too. I'm getting used to it. There's a lot of settings in here that allow you to enable flips, flip orientation, GPS update, altitude limit, vertical speed, rotational speed, tilt angle. So that controls how fast you can move the drone. So you might want to put it low when you're beginning. Different joypad controls. One thing we saw was absolute control. So it uses a compass in the tablet and in the quadcopter to remember where you are, so that front. So if you go forwards, it's always going to go away from you, and backwards will always come towards you. Instead of, like, if you turn the drone all the way around so it's facing you and you go forwards, it'll come towards you instead of backwards, because the drone's, again, it's just a point of reference. So let's take off. and start recording. Right now I have it on a fairly low tilt angle max because I want the video to be smooth, and faster you move, then obviously the slower it gets because it's a 30 FPS camera and 720p, so it's pretty good for the size drone. It could be better, but I'm pretty sure you can put a GoPro onto this. We've done a few tests, and I think we need to lighten our case for the GoPro to get it to work because the case is almost as heavy as the GoPro itself. So we gotta test some things out to get it working right, but we're almost there. With the drone you can do flips like this. Let's bring it into the light so I can see it a little better, so that you can see it better. I can see it fine. Okay, right about there. Double tap the screen to flip. Ooh, that's so fun. And you can change the orientation in which it flips, which is fun. You can do side, backwards. It's good fun. Plus it looks really cool, especially when you have the outdoor case on. The range is about 150 feet. Depending on the Wi-Fi signal you have, you can probably get an expander to get more range with the Wi-Fi. But with my Nexus tablet, I wouldn't go more than 100 because the Wi-Fi isn't as strong as like a iPad mini, which my brother has, which we've used before. It's more tactile when we use that, and the streaming's better, like I said. There's a car going by. Beautiful. You can do some surveillance stuff. Go around your property and check it out without leaving your porch, which is always good. There's obviously no camera on the onboard, or there's no mic on the onboard camera on the drone. And the camera on the bottom of the drone you can also record from, and you can get bird's eye video, but the camera is very low quality, so the video doesn't come out nearly as well. But you can still have it, which is pretty cool, I guess, if you're into that kind of stuff. It flies quite stably. All the sensor input makes it very easy. It's like I don't have to hold on to the controller at all, it'll just hover. It's getting a little bit of movement, probably because it's over top of a hill, so the ultrasonic sensor is not getting an even reading. So if I move it onto the flat, it should stay perfectly even above the ground. Sensors seem to work quite well. Yeah, it pretty much just hovers there, which is really helpful because if you drop the controller, which would be bad because it's your phone, but you know, it happens. It's not that loud for a drone. Other ones are much louder. There's a lot of sensor readings. Like I can see that I have 34% battery already. It seems to us like the first 50% of battery goes away a lot faster than the second 50%. I don't know why that is. It feels like at 30% it'll just stay there for such longer time. So I'm probably not even halfway done the flight, but it says I'm 30% battery when I started at 100. Just one of the weird things. I don't know if I like that or not. Alright. We're not out of battery, I'm just gonna bring it down though. There's nothing more to it. It's got enough dexterity and agility to fly indoors. Oops. Okay, and one of our favorite buttons on here is the landing button. That's the thing you crash the most with, so if you just press that button, use ultrasonic sensor, stop the motors right at the bottom. I love that. I crash so much on the landing with the other drones.
Alright, so here's the lowdown on the Parrot AR Drone 2.0. I compared it directly with 5 other quadcopters in this price range, $300 to $400, and rated it on its stability, repairability, camera quality, CPU aid, and integrity. I also gave it and took away points for things like control medium, GPS, camera upgrades, and battery life. So first of all, for stability, I gave it a 9.5. I gave it this because of its vision tracking system, to keep it in the same place on the ground. For repairability, I gave it a 6. I gave it a 6 because most of the drone you can swap out, but the props are permanently on there, and I think that is probably the thing you're going to break the most, so why would you do that? That's just dumb. What do you guys think? For camera quality, I gave it an 8.5. I give it a lower score based on the actual camera quality, but since it's built in and it has FPV, I give it a little better. 720p FPV is pretty good. For CPU aid, I gave it a 9.5. The safety settings and landing on it make it so easy to drive and so easy to land, and that's where most people crash, so that's always a good thing to have. And finally, for integrity, I give it a 6.5 because I only crashed it once, and when I did, the outside frame snapped, but I fixed it, of course, with some toothpicks and some glue. It was pretty easy. I also took away some points for its control medium, which is just a tablet. And since you can't expand it without breaking the warranty and changing it into a 2.4 gigahertz, I took away some points for that, because who wants that? You don't want to break the warranty. I took away some points for GPS because it's only expandable and not standard, and other ones in its category did have standard GPS and GPS return. For camera upgrades, I gave it an extra point because you can add a GoPro onto it if you do it right and make new landing gear. But you might have to 3D print that, so it's only a little bit. And finally, I gave it a bunch of extra points for battery life because it almost doubles its competitors' flight times of 15 minutes, and it almost does 38 minutes. So that, obviously, is really good. So I give him that points. So overall, I'm going to stick with my rating of 7.5 because it's right in the middle there. Middle of the pack. Price range is good for its quality. Repairability is a little poor. All around, pretty good. I give it a C+. 7.5. Or so I've been told. Thanks for watching, and if you want more reviews just like this one, or ones that are slightly different, leave me a comment on what you want different. Or you want ones that are like exactly the same, just like it up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.